This is Denton County weather through the latest 2.5-minute forecast. Temperatures out there this morning. It's feeling like a humid morning out there. Most of us are sitting in the upper 60s, a few lower 70s as well here in the Metroplex. It will still feel like a warm day out there, but we will have those storms tonight, so that will eventually cool down temperatures after sunset, By about 12 o'clock this afternoon, most of us will only be in the low 80s across the Metroplex, and eventually by 4 o'clock, most of us will warm up into the upper 80s and some lower 90s back off to the northwest, which should break the cap, which could form some thunderstorms as well. Quick look at the temperatures by about midnight. As I said before, temperatures will drop pretty dramatically after we see those thunderstorms roll through the region, and then eventually going into tomorrow morning, most of us will be only in the upper 50s and maybe some lower 60s, especially in the eastern portions of the Metroplex. All right, obviously you know that there's a chance for severe weather today. It's going to definitely be a potential for this evening more than anything. It will not be for the afternoon hours. If you have any events before 6, 7 o'clock, you'll be perfectly fine. Anything after 7 o'clock could have some thunderstorms, so you will want to monitor the weather very closely if you have any evening plans. You can see that severe weather threat as of right now, and this is as of Saturday night, so there might be some changes to this. It should be minor changes, but there might be a few changes. The best chance for severe weather still exists anywhere north of Route 380. This does include anywhere just to the north of Denton County, really right along the Red River northwards. Best tornado threat exists right here, and that's going to be just southwest of Oklahoma City, just to the north of Wichita Falls. That'll be the best chance for any sort of tornadic threat. However, that tornado threat still exists outside of that area and does include the Metroplex. A few tornadoes are expected, so we have to monitor that weather very closely for the potential for some tornadoes somewhere near the Metroplex or even potentially in the Metroplex. So something to really monitor today. All right, quick look at the future radar. You can see that we will be dry throughout the afternoon. Eventually by 6, 7 o'clock, the HRR is now upgraded that the storms could develop as early as 7 to 8 o'clock, which is slightly earlier than before. You can see a line of storms begins to develop, and those initial discrete supercells will be what is the most dangerous, which could provide a tornado threat very easily. I mean, these will develop very rapidly. Supercells will likely rotate, and that's where we have to monitor very closely for that tornado threat. Large hail threat will be the most existent out of those cells as well, with the potential for hail the size of hen eggs, and as well as the threat for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, which should be with any storm that approaches the Metroplex. You can see that by 10 o'clock, it becomes a pretty pronounced line of storms. You can see that Sherman, Denton County is already going to be in this. Tarrant County, Claiborne, all the way down closer to Waco by about 10, 11 o'clock. You can see the storms roll through Plano and Dallas right around that time. 12, 1 o'clock, those storms eventually push off to the east. 2, 3, 4, you can see this is eventually out of Texas by about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But again, something to really monitor will be all threats, so make sure you have a way to receive alerts overnight, especially, have a phone app, something that will give you alerts, because Denton County weather, I'm telling you, I'll give alerts if I can, which I should be able to at least up until about 11 or 12 o'clock, but you should still have a way to receive alerts because Facebook, obviously, you won't be able to get notifications super easily through that. All right, here's a quick look at the tornado parameter. I know this forecast is going to go over 2.5 minutes, but you can see that the highest tornado threat values are going to exist in this area here, and it really does include even Denton County, but this is kind of the best chance for any sort of tornado threat, especially right about here, anywhere to the west of this line that I just drew. So basically, Denton County included in this, and anywhere off to the north and west have the best shot of seeing a potential tornadic threat. Now, again, it will only be brief if it's in a line of storms. If it's anything discrete, meaning it's an individual supercell, there will be definitely a chance for stronger tornadoes. So that'll be something to really monitor, but that should really primarily be off to the northwest, and it really shouldn't impact Denton County. So nothing to really panic about, but it definitely should be something you're mindful of. Again, here's the overall threats. So damaging winds will be our primary threat here in the Metroplex. A tornadic threat does exist to the north into the northwest of Route 380. And then again, the large hail threat does exist. It should be more of a low to moderate threat, though. All right, here's the latest look at your 7-day forecast. You can see temperatures are going to be fairly nice going into late next week, eventually going into the low to mid 70s for high temperatures, as well as you can see that their storm chances will exist Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and even into Friday, with the potential for some more severe storms for the Metroplex going into Wednesday and Thursday. This forecast is brought to you by All Dents Repair.